I welcome each and every one of you here present with us today to our Tally CA Connect session, the webinar that we are hosting today. We have with us an esteemed CA who is renowned across our Indian subcontinent, Mr. CA Atul Gupta. So today's topic of discussion is going to be very useful as we will see how we can make the best use of TallyPrime features to complete audits. We have with us, as I mentioned, an expert in Tally, an expert in the features which he has been using Tally for quite a long time. He has been associated with us, CA Atul Gupta sir. Atul sir is in practice for over 25 years now, more than 25 years. He has implemented Tally for various sectors, be it manufacturers, software companies, dealers, and even service providers. Atul sir is a regular faculty at ICAI and has taken more than 20 CPE sessions in over 10 cities. We are very glad that he is present with us here today. And he is the one who will be explaining this very important topic, not only for us, but for our audience, for our viewers. So I welcome Atul sir, and I hand this particular session over to you. And I'll just sit back and with the audience, I'll just enjoy, listen to you, and be mesmerized as you explain us the auditing features of Tally, sir. Welcome.
Okay. Thank you, Abhishek. Good afternoon. Welcome to all. As we are starting, just keep Abhishek, can members put their query in chat or QA?
Yeah, so I'll just enable chat.
So please enable chat. That is comfortable for me. I'll request all the attendees to ask questions during the session. Don't wait for the end of it. I'll try to answer it during the session. As we are starting, so let me just introduce what Abhishek has talked about. So I am very thankful to Tally. My association with Tally is as long as my practice itself. So in fact, the first assignment, just sharing it. So it's good to share and learn also. The first assignment after I became a chartered accountant that we did professionally was to help a company then 25 years back, select an accounting software. So we did a detailed presentation. We created an RFP, request for proposal for software vendors. We got, I think, 4 quotations as I can recall now. So, and then we did a detailed comparison. Then we had a presentation by then Tally channel partner in my hometown. And just for the sake of good and for letting all people know, the software we selected and suggested, and we charge money for it, believe me. So the software we selected and suggested to the company, and company finally bought that, was Tally itself. So that is where my association with Tally started. So the first practically the first professional assignment I did as a chartered accountant was a software selection study for a company. And the end result was we gave a report that why company needs to select Tally. So that is why the year of practice and the use of Tally is so long. And I'm so privileged and thankful for Tally to keep me giving these opportunities. See, the whole idea about today's session is going to be what I have been trying to do, trying to add it to the usable value of Tally like that. So I've kept the session again, adding some more parameters. Like in the previous session, we talked about fraud detection like that. This session, I'll be adding a new parameter to the whole discussions we have been doing on Tally itself. So let us start. I'll bring the presentation. Sure. Then I enjoy talking a lot. So kindly keep chatting, keep your queries posted. Okay, so I've shared my screen. And now as we are going to start, so I'll request all of you to say okay to the visibility of screen, the audio and video. So the chat is enabled. I keep my chat window on. So you can always say okay in that. Yeah. Thanks a lot. So we'll keep this discussion. More than one person had talked about whether the session is being recorded. So I think, Abhishek, it is being recorded and probably available later on CA community channel. Abhishek?
Absolutely, sir. We are recording this session currently as well. and the entire recording and everything, all the details will be present in the community channel.
Yeah.
And I'll share the link of the community channel with everyone on the chat session. I'll keep repeating the link so that people who are joining with us will be aware about that as we go forward.
Yes. So, yeah. Okay. Then someone has put a query. Patrick, I'll request you to keep your query and no, don't. Nothing is off topic. So keep your query. I enjoy this talking of about bomb. I love it. So just post it again. I'll request you at the appropriate time. I'll tell you to repost it because then I'll have to scroll a lot. Okay. So internal audit through TallyPrime. So how I have planned this session. So now TallyPrime is reasonably young, I would say. 3 years, I think October 2020 it was launched. So a very small talk on TallyPrime. Then some basic understanding about what we mean when we talk about internal audit. Then me being a chartered accountant, our own institute, CA Institute, has issued standards on internal auditing. So I'll just have a very small brief. And there's a very specific standard that is relevant for today's topic also and relevant for all of us who are acting as auditors. Then I have brought this idea about concept of risk control matrix or RCM or risk assessment. This is the value addition that we want to have in today's session. How, as an internal auditor, we could perform a risk assessment of how your software is configured, and then how you can draw conclusions based on that. Then creating an RCM through Tally, and then we'll see some basic standard features of Tally which are there, but they can always be used for doing a good internal audit. So let us start with the first part of the discussion, that is on TallyPrime. I understand we all of us know TallyPrime, but just to bring us at the same level of understanding, we are having this session. And last line is very important: all trademarks and symbols are of their respective owners. So very small talk on TallyPrime. So you all know it. So nothing very special from my side, but to bring us to all at the same level. So TallyPrime has been launched now. I think most of you will be associated with Tally. Tally is in process of upgrading TallyPrime. They already released TallyPrime 2, and the process of releasing probably the next version is also there. And we have been seeing a lot of updates, upgrades, lot of phenomenal additions. In fact, I had this, Abhishek, this Tally 3.0 is within public knowledge. You are coming with that launch. Any date you have finalized?
Yes, sir. So the beta has been launched as of now.
Okay.
And we are hoping and we are thinking that by the mid of June, that is next month, we'll come up with the gold version, which will be available for everyone to use.
Great. So just for many of you might have been part of the process of the learning Tally 3.0. So I was there. I had a privilege to see how Tally 3.0 has been configured. Believe me, my first feedback, I have written that it's there. Phenomenal features Tally has brought, and it is going to help a lot of practitioners who are there. There's a process by which I learn who all are listening to this session. So it's a phenomenal addition Tally has done. So it's great. My first feedback was that only when we went through Tally 3.0. So a lot of upgrades are already being brought. Then that is from Tally. You get good business reports, navigation, multitasking. In fact, in the Tally 3.0, they've created this option of creating good GST reconciliation, multi GST you can use. So a lot of additions are being done. Then I love talking to you through question answers. So we are starting with a quiz. So that will help me learn a lot about you. So just give me a second. I'll share that with all of you. So I'll be sharing the quiz in the chat. You click on that, a form will open. Please do submit it. So I've posted the quiz in the chat. Please say yes if it is opening for you. So by the time I'll open the scorecard or the responses I get, one of you have to say yes. Yeah, thank you, Ashraf, as I can read. So please start filling it. I request all of you to participate. It's a learning thing. Just allow me to bring the score sheet, or not exactly the score sheet, your submissions. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, all of you. So Ravindra, good. So Ravindra has made the first submission. So you can see it happening here. So we'll allow 2-3 minutes to all of you to submit. So you got the idea how I collect, where are you all from? How I get this data? Great, Ashraf. You can see yourself. Okay, so my benchmark is 50% submissions. So let us see how many submissions we already have. Just waiting. There's 2 minutes more to go. So let more people submit, then we'll review. So I'll just read through people who are, Ravindra is from Surat, Savan is Karnal, that is, I think, Haryana. Samir is Mumbai, Pavan is Pune, Pramod is Jaipur. Then Suhail is Hyderabad, Kiran is Palghar, Ronak is Jaipur. Nufair is Bhatkal. I think I've been to this place. It's near Mangaluru, Nufair, if I am correct. Then Neela is Bangalore, Sujit is Tirupur, Ashraf is Kadapa. The state will be Andhra Pradesh. Ankit is Agra, Sapna is Mumbai, Arun is Ahmedabad, then Patrick is Kampala. Kampala would be, I think, Africa. Patrick. Vikas is Guwahati, Payal is Bhilwara, Kamlesh is Mumbai. So if Patrick says Kampala is South Africa, then it's an international batch. Damodaran is Coimbatore, Tamanna is Mumbai, Sushmita is Kolkata, Karthik is Coimbatore, Raghav is Kolkata, Sudeep is Guwahati, Dolly is Indore, great. Aman is Delhi, C. Vinod Kumar Coimbatore, Rahul is C. Vinod Kumar Coimbatore, Mahavir is Vadodara, Rahul is again Indore, Rupesh Alwar, Kishore is Ahmedabad, Ashok is Hyderabad, Ayush Jabalpur, Ahmedabad, Delhi, Rakesh is Ahmedabad, Manisha is so the list has gone. Oh, so I think we have hit our benchmark, but I'll just run through very fast. Nail is Mumbai, Dilip, Noida, Arvind Raj, Madurai, Anirban is Kolkata, Salman is Veraval. Oh, that is near Somnath. Okay. Santosh is Kolkata, then Shamal is Mehsana, Yasin is Kolkata, Dr. Mohish Gajrola, Shweta is Mumbai, Sabit is UAE. So it's an international batch, 2 international participants. Alia is Dahod, Naveen is New Delhi. Yeah, Madhav is New Delhi, Daksha is Vadodara, Seema is Delhi, C.A. Suresh, Tirupur. Ranjan is Samastipur. I think that will be Odisha. Saurabh is Guwahati. Great. So thanks for this submission. Let us see. And Vartika is Bangalore. Gujarat is Amroha, UP. Kampala is Africa. Great. So let us see how you are submitted. So let us go to the summary. Is the screen visible, the summary screen? Please say yes. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Vartika. So see, so now see, this tells how we are going to orient the session. So that is why I do this quiz at the start. So roughly 70% of you are business owners who have joined, then 8% including me is from the academic side, Then we have 5% who are chartered accountants. Then someone educational purposes. Then we have auditors, a very small percentage, Tally student, and this 8% are Tally partners also. Great. So 70% of you join it as a business owner. Fantastic. So that was how I learned that how we orient the session. Then this is again learning. So this is going to help me orient myself. Master for Tally includes, so more than one answer. So inventory master, account master, payroll master, statutory master. Then you have added journal as a master. Okay, ledgers, data entry. And then someone said CA can also create master. So that is good. Thank you. Then TallyPrime feature can be used for internal audit. So see, roughly 80%, 85% said yes, and 15% have said no. So this is exactly the people that we are looking for, those who have said no. And those who said no, their quiz ended. But those who say yes, they had more questions to answer. So I planned this way. Yeah. So, so item master can, so no is yellow. So the question was that whether configuration of this is going to affect, or is it important for use by internal auditors? So see, most of you have said so correctly. That gives me a lot of confidence that master configuration has a lot of relevance for internal auditor. Inventory configuration also has relevance. Sorry for that spelling mistake that I can see. Voucher numbering format also has a relevance, and bill to bill payment. So all these are configurations which are going to help the internal auditor. In fact, the third one, voucher numbering, this edit log and Tally, those who have converted to edit log, you must have seen that request by Tally that when you convert to edit log, it changes the voucher number to automatic with manual override. Then you have to redo it to audit automatic. Now, there's a question that I'll be asking on this one, voucher numbering. Then we'll go to our discussion. Okay, so that is the submission. And the phenomenal response. Claps to all of you. Thank you. So whenever I take this quiz, I do ask the members, the participants attending, how do you like the idea about the quiz? So you have to say yes, no. Great, like that. Chat. So it allows all of us. You could put name. We have an anonymous attendee who is, he or she is asking, please provide me a certificate for this. Great. So let us continue. So this allows us to redefine the way we are going to look at. Now, please understand, today's session will only be, I'll be creating like learning that how you could use Tally for internal audit, how as internal auditors, you can use Tally, create this concept of risk assessment, whatever Tally configurations are available. Okay, so let us continue. So that was the first part about learning about TallyPrime, and then learning about all of you. So thanks for participating so well. Now coming to this, the important part of the definition, that is internal audit. Now, please understand that suppose I ask you internal audit as a function. So let me ask this question to you. It is for whom? Means as an internal auditor is serving whom? So I'm just giving you options. So business owners, shareholders, government, other stakeholders, investors. So you can say yes to all. So to whom internal auditor is basically working for, or for whom he or she is working for. Basically, so we have Payal saying yes to all. Ashraf says yes to all. Payal is saying business owners. Then Arun also says business owner. Business owner, great. Business owners, and yes to all. Patrick says yes to all. And more than 65% of participants we have today have classified themselves as business owners. So that is fantastic. So internal audit is more to see how things are in an organization, more oriented towards the requirement of business owner. Great. So let us see the definition of. So I've taken it from the Institute of Internal Auditors, how they define internal audit. Each word is very important. Is an independent. So independent means the person, whoever is doing internal audit, he or she has to have professional independence. He or she must not be related to anyone within the organization. He or she must not have any other statutory relationship with the organization. Just for example, our institute, C Institute, has a defined code of conduct. Within that code of conduct, our institute has issued a very specific guideline that any person or any chartered accountant in practice, if that firm individual is acting as an internal auditor, then he or she cannot have any other association. Like he or she cannot be statutory auditor, or firm cannot be statutory auditor, or that individual firm cannot act as a accounting consultant. So it has to be independent without any relationship to the entity. Why independent? Because internal auditor is going to see how things are going. The next line will make it clear. So auditing is an independent objective assurance. Objective means with a focus. This is exactly what I want you to do. This is what I want you to achieve from. Consulting activity designed to add value. So then you suggest improvement. So internal auditor, the way things have been growing, the way technology is taken over all the aspects of business, internal auditor is expected to see the basic functionality, and more importantly, the auditor has to make comment on how you can improve performance. I'll share some very live cases with you on how value addition can be created. Okay, let us do it here itself. It's good thing to start with such a good case to share. Just because many of you are business owners and few of you are practitioners also, I want you to say in chat, those people who have associated with automobile industry, maybe as dealer or maybe as manufacturer, automobile industry, four-wheeler, two-wheeler, please say yes. Anyone who is associated with an automobile industry, he or she or that individual may be promoter of manufacturer, or you may have your own dealership like that. Many business owners we had, okay, no issues. So because there is no update on that, so I realized that there is no one directly associated with automobile dealer, but we have members in the profession. Chartered accountants, have you been associated with this any automobile dealer like that? You can be statutory auditor, internal auditor, GST consultant, tax consultant, anything. Okay, so let me do it for you. So again, I told you we'll have a lot of questions and answers to learn and do. My keyword that I'm looking at is value addition. Okay. So now let me put this question. So we have been associated with this automobile dealerships since quite long. So I'm putting it in the chat. Then a simple question to understand, to keep this interaction on. If you imagine automobile dealership, what are the two core sources of income? किसी भी ऑटोमोबाइल डीलर के दो बेसिक इनकम सोर्स क्या होते हैं? Two basic source of income. Patrick, with your permission, I said it in Hindi. Thank you. So what is the basic permission or businesses that an automobile dealership is going to earn? Sales and service. Great. Yeah. So Savan and everyone says sales of vehicle and selling of vehicles. Great. So that is clear. Spare part sales. Yes. Now the next question is sale and services, two options. Gross profit is higher where? You get more GP where? Service. Yes, Aman is answering that question. Service. I learned that. Now, next question. So it was a phenomenal case to learn, and the value addition what internal auditor he and she can do. I'm sharing it with you, all of you. Now, so this automobile dealer is a two-wheeler dealer. Okay. So I'm putting another aspect. So this two-wheeler dealer, some before COVID, so early to, I think mid, somewhere around July 2019, the owner, the business owner, he talked to me. We are internal auditors for that dealership today also, and then also. So it's a good association. So that owner of that business talked to me and said, Atul, we have a problem. What is the problem? The problem is that I'm writing a date, Dhanteras. On Dhanteras, we sell lot of vehicles. And because lot of sale is there on Dhanteras, we give incentive to our salesperson. And when we give incentive to our salesperson, we want to give what is based on their performance, that which salesperson sold how many vehicles, so that that incentive can be shared. The trouble is that when we set for distribution of incentive, the salesperson have a real fight. Patrick, allow me to do it in Hindi, then I'll do it in English again. तो ओनर ने कहा, अतुल, जब हम इंसेंटिव बांटते हैं तब सेल्स के लोग अलग तरह से लड़ते हैं. मैं ऑनलाइन है इसलिए बोल नहीं पा रहा हूं. सेल्स वाले इस तरह से लड़ते हैं कि जब आई एम शेयरिंग वन इंस्टांस, एक सेल्स वाला दूसरे सेल्स वाले को ये बोलता है कि वो जो कस्टमर था ना, जिसने गाड़ी ली धनतेरस को, वो जब आया था तब उसने पहली बार आंख मुझसे मिलाई थे, इसलिए मेरा कस्टमर. So one salesperson will tell the other salesperson that that customer who bought that vehicle, he or she, when he entered the showroom, I met that person because the first eye contact was with that person, that was mine. So that salesperson is my, that sale is mine, I must get incentive. So this owner of that business was in real trouble. And so he told me, Atul, I want a solution. So, the exercise you did, I requested you to submit this Google form. So with this simple form, see how you could add value to the process. Now I'm asking you this question. Suppose 1,000 vehicles are sold on Dhanteras. So do you believe that it is actual sale, or if I say it is delivery of vehicles? 1,000 vehicles sold, is it sale or delivery? Delivery, yes. Because Dhanteras is an auspicious day. Yeah, Shamal, I'm coming to your point. Yes, I wanted someone to say it. Good. So Dhanteras is an auspicious day. So people already pre-book. They take delivery on day of Dhanteras. But out of 1,000 vehicles, 800 are delivery, 200 are sales. Because there is a family, there are few people, such people are across the globe, that they don't pre-book. The father or the earning member of the family, he or she, they take, say, 1 lakh rupees cash in the pocket and then make a loud announcement in the home. Aaj Dhanteras se kya karna hai? So that earning member of the family make a huge announcement that today is Dhanteras, what to do? So all the family members say, okay, we'll go to buy a new vehicle. So there are people, 200 people are like that, who decide on day of Dhanteras opening that now we are going to buy a new vehicle. So 800 are delivery and 200 are sales. So Shamal was absolutely correct. Now, so what we did, July month, he talked to us. I created this Google form that I've just shared with you with all the details in it. It was configured, agreed to by the owner of the managing director of the company. Then we installed that on mobile phone of all the sales representative. We gave the training to them also, that how you're going to book it through this. Now, say Dhanteras, I don't know, but suppose Dhanteras in that year was in October. So I'm taking a date, tentative date. Say 15th October was Dhanteras. So the managing director, somewhere around 5th October, he told me, Atul, this you have created, I want to open this sheet with you only. So please do it. So we opened that whole data collection. Now just I'm putting the figures. 1,000 are going to be sold. 800 will be deliveries. 200 will be sales. On 5th of October, when we opened that data sheet, there were information about 650 bookings. The 150 bookings in the next 7-10 days, they will be updated in system. Now, if I've shared this with you, can you have this data on front of you, what aspect you are going to look into that data. I'll request all of you to answer at least one aspect. I want you see those 650 row items that you just saw in the sheet you submitted. So 650 details are there. What one thing that you are going to observe in that data? Just one thing. Booking with date of delivery. Perfect, Mahavir. Great. Model, festival day. Great. Name of the, yes. So Vaibhavi, salesperson. How is the performance of the salesperson? How many deliveries? How many bookings? Great. Customer engagement data and feedback. Yes. Advance receive. Perfect. Model and date of delivery. Yes. Great. Yeah. Rakesh. Most model book. Rakesh, can you take it to the next level? Yes. Very good, Salman. The employee who made the explanation. Rakesh, can you take it to the next level? I'll tell you. As soon as we opened the sheet, the managing director was like, wow, Atul, what is this? I've never seen a thing like that. I'm telling you. So this simple exercise added so much value to that process. You know, just see what you can do when you have data. By 15th of October, 800 bookings will be there. Swarna, yeah, you could offer discount. Leave that. Dhanteras is a busy day. No, they give incentive to sales. Generally, they'll not give, but okay, let us take. Good. So 800 data is available. Now, as Rakesh said, that in this 800 data, you will always know what is the model, the color of the 800, which is the most selling model. Yes. What you do, probably that dealer was the only dealer who knew. You know what he knew? I'm just typing it. What model, color, he needs to have those 200 vehicles so that on the day of Dhanteras, when people come to buy directly, because they have not pre-booked, and believe me, there is a dealer to dealer interaction. You know, dealers exchange vehicles. They tell to one person, you come here and then we'll give it to you, like that. So probably that was the only dealer who would know who would know that what stock or what model you need to keep in your inventory. That is added value. It was phenomenal. So this is how you could add value. Simple process done, allowed the management to make such a critical decision. Any queries on this case I have shared? We had one query from a person who said, sir, I need more understanding on this aspect. So what the whole idea was what? That when you do internal audit, you can add lot of value to the management itself, to the learning process. So that is what you can do as add value. So this is what is defined, adding value. Any query on the case? I'll just continue. And improve an organization's operations. So as you start adding value, this leads to improved organizational process. It can be in any, you could reduce, you could increase profit, you could increase business, you could reduce unnecessary expenditure, like that. It helps an organization accomplish its objectives by bringing a systematic, disciplined approach to evaluate and improve the effectiveness of risk management, control, and governance process. So this, the whole idea about risk management, controls, and governance has been built into the core definition of internal audit purpose as defined by the International Institute. Let us go ahead. Now, this is going to be important. As we are looking from internal auditors' eyes like that, So the Institute of Chartered Accountants has issued something that we call as standards on internal audit. So because a lot of you are going to do internal audit, so I'll just keep it brief, because most of those attending are business owners. So they may not be doing it in audit like that, but just for the sake of understanding, there is one very important standard that I want all of us to learn, and then we can have questions on that. So Institute has issued many standards, concept standard, how to do internal audit management, conducting audit, and standards on specialized areas. I'm just picking one standard because that is relevant for today's discussion. You're not reading the standard. This is only for listing them down. This is the one standard that is important for all of us. Internal auditing in an information technology environment. In fact, today's focus, core discussion is this only. See how things have changed over a period of time. Those who are business owners, they are expected to have proper internal controls. Beyond the size of an entity, there's a statutory requirement to get yourself internal audit done. So how you ensure that your technology is configured to achieve all those purposes. So that is what we'll just see two very important paragraphs on this related standard. So there's some, yeah, SIA 520, someone did type it in the chat. Good. So what we are looking at, so the first part is definition. So it says information technology environment. We'll just learn. Okay, I'll read and then I'll ask a question. So ITE is when information is captured, stored, processed through automated means, and is managed through various policies, procedures to support a business operation. An objective and the two main components of IT include the infrastructure, including hardware, the technology architecture, the operating system, communication network, storage systems, and application software data, not limited to interface between ERPs, CRMs, dealer channel management, e-commerce, and robotic process automation. Now, I'm asking you this question. The example that I gave you, where sales persons of the entity were using mobile to update the booking details of customer. So would this mobile part of this IT definition? Just for learning, you have to say yes, no. So in the case I shared, would this mobile be part of the technology architecture? Yes, that was the core reason we built that case, so that understanding. So oh, that is so important. I'll just share one more case with you. It is learning. At least three people are, me included. There are three persons from Indore. So I asked the other two persons, Indore is famous for what? I'll share another case. See how technology changes the way you do business. Food, Dolly, good. Poha jalebi. Snacks. So I wanted snacks as an answer. Just see. So we have yes, Vartika, cleanliness, yes. And it is a Chappan Bhog. Chappan, Rakesh, Chappan Dukan is exactly opposite my office. Okay. So whenever you come to Indore and if we get a chance to meet again, do visit my office, we'll go to Chappan. Okay. Thank you. No. Okay, taken care. Now, so what was the point? So just see how technology changes the business. We had the first lockdown across our country in March 2020. We have many big snack seller brand in Indore. Being online, I'm not naming it, but multiple brands. See, one, the brand owner, what he did lockdown, but there were few services which are kept out of lockdown. That was, say, medical store, delivery services, specifically food delivery. Okay, because then people need to have groceries to eat like that. So this exemptions were given. Based on this exemption, transport also, yeah. Based on this exemption, this snack seller in Indore, he did nothing. You know what he did? He created a simple Google form, ensured that the Google form is distributed all across the city. WhatsApp, first lockdown, we all did a lot of fun things also at home. And that Google form was linked to a payment gate. You book your order online and they had a time 24 hours, they will do a delivery. Believe me, I know someone, so that snack seller, he launched his app on 1st May 2020. Within 1 month, the business that person was able to do was more than their whole last year's sale. That much business they did. So when you talk about technology, how you create your system, that is going to be a phenomenal difference. So everything that is part of data capture relating to business is part of information technology environment, the first part. The second part, what exactly is needed? So how internal auditor is going to approach? He or she needs to go through policies, procedures like that. The more important part is have an independent risk assessment along with evaluation of controls required to mitigate this risk, uh, form the basis of audit procedure and do audit procedure which check security, reliability of information, efficiency, effectiveness of information processing, analysis, reporting of information, continuous access and availability of information, compliance of IT related laws and regulation. Now, a question I wanted to ask earlier, but now it is coming. I'm writing a command. Tell me the impact of this in Tally. Okay. So that was easy. Now the tough question. That is how I learn. Now, because edit log is there, is Alt D an option available? क्या अब हम डिलीट कर सकते हैं वाउचर? क्योंकि अब एडिट लॉग, yes, now you cannot do it. Rakesh, you do, but that is a risky proposition. Please understand. So you need to ensure this is an aspect of internal audit. You need to ensure you can delete another. Question is whether it is desired. So in edit, where to organization, to companies, to whomsoever edit log is applicable, it's a very undesirable aspect. Please understand how things are going through. That is why this session becomes so critical to understand. Edit log is what? Whatever you edit, it has to be recorded. So you can now the Tally, you have a concept of value date. So if you do an edit, you may have to modify a voucher, so you can validate it. So in the edit log, it will come along with the value date. So that is automatically going to give a justification that this was the reason. In the narration, you say the reason that this is why I changed the voucher. To err is human. गलती करना मनुष्य का स्वभाव है. We can do mistakes, so you can always edit. That is good. What the law says, you create an edit log. So whatever changes you make, list down. Now, suppose you do a Alt D. So in the edit log, what the option will be there? The voucher has been deleted. Delete itself creates a lot of red flags to the authorities who are going to check those edit logs. So in the scenario we are all in, edit, delete option per se doesn't exist. Within Tally, you all know you can configure Tally to ensure that no data entry operator, she can delete a voucher. So that is very important. That aspect I wanted to talk about, that this we need to reconfigure again. So if delete option is not deleted, delete option is not deleted. Look to the question. If delete option is not deleted, does it create a critical issue for the internal auditor? You have to say yes, no. If delete option is not deleted, does it create a critical option for internal auditor? You have to say yes, no. Yes, that adds to the risk. That means internal auditor will have to take coverage of those aspects. The delete option is not deleted. That means voucher delete is there. Then how to validate that? That is very important. So review of policies, procedures. That means as an internal auditor, you have to see what is the operational policies, what are the standard operating procedures for data entry. Within that data entry, you must not have, your policy must say Now vouchers cannot be deleted. So then you go to the user controls that we all know in Tally, whether that delete option for users have been deleted or Vijay. Vijay, question is not that. Question is you cannot create a justification for this. Understand? Vijay, yeah. Okay. So I'll just read through. So these are the things that, and it's an indicative list. You can always add more. Security, reliability of information, efficiency, effectiveness of the processing, analysis and reporting of information, continuous access and availability of information, compliance of IT related laws and regulations. Very, very, very important. So this idea about edit log is hit here itself. Then this is going to be a new discussion. Okay. So I'm trying to draw some plans to understand this. See, this is what I want. This is going to be the core. I will be doing it practically. I'll share with you a phenomenal sheet for this, and then we'll see how we can build on this. So this is what we need to learn through the whole idea about risk assessment, risk control matrix. So let us do through question answer. You have to say yes to it. Okay. So I put a question, is fire a risk? For learning. So all of us will come to a level, then we'll discuss it out. Yes. Okay. Then next. Internal audit is basically validating controls. Okay. So that is exactly we are trying to learn. Okay. Now, next question is you have to answer the preventive control for fire. If fire is a risk, what is the preventive control? Fire pump. Good. Fire extinguisher. Great. Extinguisher. Cloud. Yeah, miss. Aman is saying, Barish ho jaave aisa cloud. Water sprinklers. Proper exit system. Yes. SANG. Disaster recovery team. Great. So your all answers are good. Insurance coverage, great. But none of them is correct. You know, my question was preventive controls. None of your answer is going to prevent, fire from occurring. So what we are basically, yes. So you require like this. Fireproof systems. Yes. Fire. Got the idea. I just wanted this learning. Okay. No smoking zone. Great. So because we wanted to define a risk, the next discussion is really valued. I'll be sharing an Excel sheet, how you create a risk control matrix, training, how to use the system. Got the idea? So there is a concept of risk, and then there is a concept of control. Let us do this again. I'll share a Word document for a better understanding. Chat will not help. Okay, I've shared a Word screen. Is it visible? Say yes. Yeah, thank you. So let us do it. And this is exactly what we wanted to learn. So fire is a risk. Then you need to have controls. So controls can be, so this is exactly what an internal auditor is going to look for. So controls will be preventive. So each risk is going to have a category of control. Now I'm classifying the way you said. Fireproof material is preventive. Then alarms are detective. And then you all said correctly, extinguishers are corrective. So preventive, detective, and so each set of risk is going to have controls, and they are going to be any one of these three. So this is the aspect that we want to learn when I say risk control, risk assessment, risk control matrix. Have I made my point clear? Please say yes, then we'll go to the next session. I just wanted you to get an understanding of the idea about risk and the idea about these controls, preventive, detective, and corrective. Okay, just for my understanding, my sake, I put it like this. Okay, let me put it in the question here itself. You have to answer whether this control is preventive, detective, or corrective. Just as simple as that. Password is what? You have to, in the chat, you say PDC, any one of the three. Great. So you got the idea. That was the learning part. Okay. Then CCTV is detective. Great. And the last. No, last, let me do it this way. I'm changing the question. Huh? Backups. Backups. I know people make mistake. Please understand backup is corrective, because having a backup is not going to prevent the disaster from occurring. Disaster to fir bhi ho sakta hai. So backup is corrective. Okay, we have learned this. Great. We'll go to the PPT. So I brought the PPT. Let us run through this. So there are a lot of definitions about risk. So I'm not reading this through, just for sake. The whole idea about risk is there. So I'm not reading this through. Now, these three words are important. When you say risk, risk appetite, how much I can take, my capability along with controls, tolerance, which is not going to affect my business process, and the management process. So just keep the words. Okay, we are not detailing them out because there is a very important thing I want to share with you. Then these are risk scenarios, what can happen, what can go wrong. That is, so risk tolerance, threat, vulnerability, likelihood, impact, responses that includes controls, inherent risk. It is always going to exist like that. So these are the words. I'm not defining it. We'll do it practically. This is important. This we are going to do practically. Just have a look at the chart, and now we'll go to the practical session. Just give me a second. I've shared an Excel sheet. Is it visible? Now see what you are basically, this is what is the whole session for. So this, what you're looking at, that what we call as a risk control matrix, or we say RCM. Now what we do, so this is the value addition that we wanted in this session. So those of you who are doing internal audit, हम में से वो सब लोग जो internal audit कर रहे हैं, they need to create this and then start your internal audit. I'll tell you how you're going to learn and draw conclusions. I'll share this sheet. Then I'll open a company in TallyPrime. And then based on our discussion, we'll update this sheet. Okay. How does it look there? So our target is TallyPrime. Now we talked about controls. So the first is account master definition. So this you can learn. Okay, this is learning that account master definition, if it is correct, incorrect, what risk it carries to the entity. So right now I have said medium. Okay, this is my definition. What is the mistake? What is the error that you can do? You can create improper account classification. Yes, the question that I did ask, that is master configuration relevant for internal audit, internal control? So most of you said yes. That is the point. That suppose you are defining a vendor master and GST, just taking some practical example, vendor master, the GST, the vendor is regular, but by mistake, the data entry operator by mistake has selected it as compounded. Got the error? That is. So this is a risk you could have. Who is the source of the risk? The data entry operator. Why the risk? Because you did not create a control for proper account master creation. I'll tell you what control was needed. It is going to come. we are doing line by line. What it could lead to, यह गलती करेंगे, what will be the impact of this? Lead to non-compliance? Yes. Improper reporting? Yes. Consequence value? I've said medium. This is auto-generated. Likelihood of occurrence, यह गलती कितनी बार हो सकती है, probability. So I say medium. Okay. We'll see what happens. So when I say medium, it takes value as 3. Risk value, so it is multiplying 3 by 3. It's a defined valuation. The result is the risk is medium. Then how do you take care of the risk? Now, if you see the header has changed. So when my risk is medium, I'm looking at, if you could just, you could see risk response. How I am responding to the risk, how I am removing the risk. So what option I have taken? Mitigate. Mitigate means to reduce the impact of. So I'm asking you this question. If there is a risk, how you mitigate the impact? So we did talk about, so when you say there is a risk, you mitigate through establishment of controls. So controls can be preventive, detective, or corrective. So if this is a risk, you mitigate. How you mitigate? In fact, this is what we have been telling all our internal audit clients, that after GST, 1st July 2017, no master will be created unless you do it through a account master creation form. Know your vendor, know your customer. Why this is important? Because unless you collect data from this account master creation form, GST information may not be available, address may not be available, email ID may not be. In fact, in the Tally 3, you have those separate reports, email ID not configured in the accounts. Email has become a virtually a legal source of communication. All your notices and they come to on email itself. Then whether this mistake can occur, so yeah, this can appear medium. Value it takes automatically. So 3 into 3, 9. And now the compliance. So what you do, how you reduce the risk to virtually 0, define standard operating procedures, how you are going to create master, regular training of the employee of the entity. That is how you do it. So what the whole idea about today's session was, we as internal auditors must be able to create and define what we call as a risk control matrix. Inventory master goes the same way. Cash is where my interest is huge. So I'll create a cash. Let me do it through a question answer. I'll bring, yeah. So the first question on cash is, sorry, does Tally restrict negative cash balance? The first question is, does Tally restrict negative cash balance? No. Good. Okay. It does not restrict. Great. It warns. Yes. So Sonal says it warns. So the next question is, warning is preventive, detective, or corrective? Great. It is preventive. But do we listen? There is a command on our screen. You know, short key is what? Control A. So even if the Tally says that, if you, yes, Karthik, even if Tally is warning, system is perfect. It is warning, but you don't listen. Control A. Now I'll tell you what is the trouble. See, we need to understand how law is evolving and how technology has to be built into it. We have few people who are, I think we have business owners also. So all of have been interacting with tax authorities like that. Now this case, you know, after 1st July 2017, there are business owners and there are service providers. So I'm saying this permission, with the permission of both. All of you, the business owners and the service providers feel that there's a vacancy at the business owner's location. Business owners feel that we need someone who can do our job better. You know, there is a vacancy. You know what is that vacancy? I'm writing it. You say yes. All of you need what I call as a good accountant. You have to say yes or no. Yes. No one knows who is a good accountant, but we all need it. And this problem has been multiplied after this 1st July 2017. After GST, this has had a multiplier effect. Now I'm sharing this practically how it is happening. Accountant that is working right now at the client location is a new accountant. He is very angry. You know why he's angry? Because this new accountant has to get the income tax assessment completed for the year 2 years prior to his joining. Now he is angry because the previous accountant did not do things properly, and then he has to get the assessment done, and everything has to be done by this new accountant. Now we are living in this age of faceless assessment. Okay, so many of you business owner also know it, and practitioners also know it. So income tax department sends you a notice that you send us books. It's a faceless assessment. The email is coming that you have to submit your cash book of the year prior, 2 years prior to today, because that is under assessment. Now this new accountant, he does not worry about it. He generates a PDF and submits the online cash book in this assessment. In that online cash book, there is a day when a negative cash balance of 50,000 is appearing. 50,000 rupees negative cash dikh raha hai. How does income tax department going to take into that? Many of you business owners are also there, practitioners are also there. How department is going to look to that? Negative cash balance. Unaccounted cash. Yes, better answer, Uttam. Yes, unaccounted receipt. So Saurav gets it correctly. See what my cash book is saying. Sabit, yes, is good. Sabit, I think you are from UAE. But see, our accounting system is giving a warning, but then we have not listened to the warning. I'm just bringing the issue. What Saurav corrected. See, there's a section in our Indian Income Tax Act, I think 69C, which says unexplained expenditure. What is unexplained expenditure? My cash book is saying, I submitted PDF, it is there. My cash book is saying, I had 10,000 rupees cash balance at the start of the day. By the end of the day, I expended 60,000 rupees. So my cash book is saying at the end of the day, I had 50,000 negative cash. That means if I have expended 60,000, I must have earned that additional 50,000 somewhere. Add to income. That is an issue. So that is the risk that you carry with cash as a parameter. So that is exactly what this our internal auditors need to review about. Okay. Then, so cash, negative cash balance, it can have a huge impact. I've written it here. Could lead to non-compliance with penal provision. Because unexplained income that is added by the AO, then they can have penalty and interest and like that. So that can have a huge impact. That is why these controls are critical. So that was negative cash. On inventory, we have business owners who get their stocks built. So in Tally, how many valuation methodologies are there? Inventory valuation, how many methods are available in Tally? Yeah, 8 is the correct answer. So no, Rakesh, 8 is the correct answer. Now the next is important question. How many of these are in compliance with applicable accounting standard across the globe? So we can take, we have UAE attending person and Africa attending person. So 2, Karthik says, yeah, my reading is 3. So out of 8, only 3 are the applicable accounting standard compliant methods. That means, see, it's a software. It can give you more methods because there is applicability of other methods in very exceptional circumstances. Yes, FIFO, no, LIFO is not there, Sonal. LIFO is not accepted. FIFO average and there's perpetual. LIFO is not accepted. FIFO average and there's a third one. I'm just missing the name. Weighted average. Yes, yes, yes. Sonal, thank you. Now, what is the issue? Issue is that even if your accounting software gives more than one valuation method, you have to select which is allowed by law. let us see the impact if it is not properly done. So I'm reading this H5 could lead to non-compliance, improper reporting, including incorrect financial statement, because your profitability will be hit. That aspect you are going to look into that. So that is again adding to the risk parameter. That is how you create this risk assessment matrix through whatever configurations are there in system. Now what I'll do, I'm opening a company in Tally. We'll see whether how these parameters are defined, and we'll make appropriate changes here to see how our risk control matrix changes. So allow me to open a Tally company. So what we'll do, we'll see how it is configured in this Tally, and then we'll go to our system. Okay. So I'm just, you have to say whether this configuration is correct or not. Say yes, no. No, it is not. Got the problem? So this I will take. Now see what you're looking at. Please understand. Yes, it has to be under duties and taxes. Perfect. You got the idea? So as an so it's a phenomenal service that we are looking at. Now we are looking, so with the permission of the business owner and helping the members who have joined, this is a value-added service that an internal auditor can provide to business owner, validating the masters, whether they have been configured properly or not. First, so we have seen the master part. With three things, I'll show you all three. The error in them. Okay. Now let us see the next one, the inventory part. Yes. Then Patrick, if you are still there, then I'll request you to put your query after this after discussion of these three items. Based on what you see, is it correct? Aman, could you point the error that you see on? Yes. Okay. You got the error. So see, this is how, and understand if there are 100 line items, then 100 line items validation you have to do, and then create that value added aspect. Yes. And the last one. So I intentionally created these mistakes. Just give me a second. I need. Now in the new Tally, I just wanted someone to negative cache. That configuration will be in which key? I just missed that out. Okay. So you can, based on this, you update your risk control matrix, your risk control. So for each that, so that you'll create a whole annexure that these are the masters that have been validated by you during this. Okay. Let us go to our RCM again. So if you see that the number of errors that you find are more, then you change it to high. See what happens when I change it to high. Changes the, and if you find that these errors are going to occur again and again, you can select. So it changes the whole parameter, and based on this assessment, then you are going to plan your audit like that. So that is one aspect, risk control matrix, that you can create through Tally. Now coming to, yes, so Vaibhavi, like this errors. Yeah, good. So let us, answer Vaibhavi's question and then we'll take the Patrick's query. He has typed it again. If you can read this cell, I'll just zoom further. Yeah. Define SOPs, standard operating procedures, and regular training of employees. Very, very, very important. In fact, I have written it here that no new master creation will be done unless you have a account master creation form. It can be physical, it can be system driven, but has to be done through that. Alt C is a command. You know, Alt C. What happens when you press Alt C while creating vouchers? Alts, yes, you create new ledgers. That command also has to be disabled. Got my point? Because see, the person who is making a data entry, if he doesn't find an account and there is something to be taken to a debit account or to a credit account, Alt C and do it. Always delete that. So you need to create, in fact, if you see the core is create standard operating procedures, regular training, and tell the impact to the employees. Very, very, very important. Now I'm taking Patrick's query. He has sent it again. Okay, Patrick, your query is well taken off. See, I'm just, all of us must have read that. His query is on bills of material, BOM. So bills of material only for understanding. So bills of material will define a number of raw material needed to create a unit set or a defined set of finished goods. So Patrick, what you need to do that once you create bills of material, these exceptions are going to come. So on a defined frequency, it can be based on your production monthly, weekly, 15 days or daily, whatever is best. You will have to create an adjustment stock journal so that these differences are reconciled. But this you will have to do separately. This will have to be done. Yes. So that you have to take care of these deficits and excesses. Generally, if it is a regular feature, that means if it is a deficit or excess, it has to be an exception. But if it is happening, like suppose you process 100 daily, you process one bomb and there are 30 bombs in a month, and of those 30 bombs, 25 show deficit or exception, that means your bomb definition need to be changed. So this must not be a regular feature. Patrick, this has to be an exception. It cannot be a regularity. Then you have to redefine your bomb. That is the point. Okay. So this RCM was one thing that I wanted to share with all of us. Live session. And then lot is there in Tally. So I just do it, means I can show you in Tally. So do you want to see the other audit tool? They are in Tally. So I'll not be explaining, I'll only show the screens. So you want me to show it on Tally or you want me to show it on PPT? Which is better for you? Tally, okay. So I'll bring Tally, thank you. So I'll share Tally. So democracy has won. Ayush, so we are going to Tally. PPT was less. So it is in Tally. Now, see, because they are there, so I thought let us have this easy and put more focus on what the value addition we can create through using risk control matrix and then analyzing features in Tally. Now, so I am on gateway of Tally. Yeah, Mahendra, it is there. So then display more reports. If you go to the bottom, okay, no, before that, I need to show you first screen. See, whenever we want to use Tally, so I think edit log is clear to all. Okay, you say yes, no. So I'm just sharing because this I use, yeah. So edit log tells everything that the company that I'm sharing with you, what actions I have done. So edit log tells everything. Okay, so that you all know. The point that I wanted you to look into is this one. This is very important. And I'm bringing, see, enable edit log that you all know. This has to be yes. There's an admin name, myself, my password. And this is what I want all of you to keep yes. Enable tally audit features. So I think we all know this. Please say yes. Tally audit feature is yes. You have to only say yes, you know it. Yes. Thank you. So please keep this yes for a general understanding. If once it is yes, then we'll go to the features. So display. Then Tally has this exception reports, ledger without. These are all additions which has been brought in Prime. Ledgers without email IDs. Then I'll just press it. See. So now today, all this is important. So all these updates you need to create. Then optional vouchers. I think we all understand optional, but leave that. Cancelled vouchers. Someone did point that you can see now it is visible, but then you have to create a reason why cancellation. So ideally not to have it. Post-dated leave. Negative ledgers. Negative ledgers means cash. The example I gave that 10,000 rupees is the cash balance. My books are showing 60,000 I have expended. 50,000 is negative cash. That is negative cash. So Tally is showing, please understand, the system is absolutely perfect. The mistake was what? The accountant 2 years back, when he was passing the voucher, then also Tally gave a warning that if you pass this cash payment voucher, the cash balance will go negative. He or she did not listen. Control A. After even Control A, it would have appeared as a negative ledger. Negative ledger is where the ledger is not in its correct domain. Cash domain is debit, but it is appearing as credit. That is negative. Negative stock that you all know, but this you know, the one that I wanted more, this one. Data analysis voucher verification. This is phenomenal. I'll just click, okay, because time is going to be constrained. Those of you who are doing audit, these are phenomenal things. In tax audit, you have to report squared off ledgers to 269S, 269TT of income tax. Then not use ledgers. I'll have good case on this. Allow me to share that. Sometime back, we started a internal audit for a four-wheeler auto dealer. The turnover of that four-wheeler auto dealer then, some 8-10 years back, was 1,100 crores. So it was big auto dealer. They were using Tally. So when Tally 9 and when we started, they were using 7.2. Then they came to 9. Okay. So when I went for the first time, when we were reviewing as an internal auditor, we were just seeing how it is working. So I realized that their Tally is slow. Okay. So I made some assessment, and then it's a four-wheeler auto dealer, 1,100 crores turnover, so big entity. So when we had our first meeting with the MD, I informed the MD that, sir, your system has a lot of, the one that I am highlighted is not used ledgers, no transactions, only balances. Second and third, both can be taken. So the MD asked me, how many such ledgers? I'm telling you the truth. I told the MD, there are, as per my estimate then, 35,000 not used ledger, 35,000. MD jumped from his seat. How you can say? It is not possible. Let us check. When the checking was done, 1,10,000 not used ledgers were there. 1,10,000. Now, you know, in India, how things happen, that if you're sleeping in a room and someone knocks the door, आप कमरे में सो रहे हैं, कोई दरवाजा knock करता है. So the person who gives the first response, he or she has to open the door. So in Hindi, there is a saying, again with permission of Patrick, that जो हूं बोले सो कुंडी खोले, like that. So जो so the person who gives the first response, he has to open the door. So in the company, what happened? No one was looking at that 1,10,000 ledgers are not used like that. But because we as internal auditors reported it for the first time, you know what the MD told us? You delete what? To delete 1,10,000. So deletion is a process. If you delete a ledger, you have to check how things are. So deletion minimum, if a ledger deletion takes 2 minutes, it is going to take 2,20,000 minutes to get it deleted. So I point blank said no to the MD, and then we got help from a person who could write a TDL and delete those ledgers. So that is, so it hits the efficiency of the entity, not used. Balances are there. There is no housekeeping in the books. You are doing a bookkeeping, but not housekeeping of the bookkeeping. You have to remove this. That is. Then negative stock we have seen. Yeah, balance, you can validate these balances, but I want, yeah, this ratio analysis you can do. Phenomenal ratio analysis. So those of you who are doing internal audit, you know it. Okay, so I'm just running through these capabilities are there in Tally. Then pending documents, where this is basically for auditors. If anything is there, that pending amounts, pending bills, if the bill to bill validation is there, then whether they are, yes, this is important, repeated transaction, same transaction appearing multiple times. So it's a trend analysis. You can check that. And this is exceptional. Okay, I don't know whether you know it, but let me define. See, relative size factor is basically a ratio. So suppose I am paying rent. So ratio of the, in the ledger, ratio that between two items in the same ledger, the first highest and second highest. Please understand, RSF is ratio between the first highest item and the second highest item of the same location. So if there are rules, if RSF is beyond 5, that means the auditor needs to check it. So you can scrutinize these ledgers where RSF is more than 5. And if it is more than 10, then a detailed checking has to be done. So this is all available here. Interbank transactions, then cash withdrawals. Now this cash has become very critical. You can do it. Fixed assets analysis. You can generate those reports. Yeah, Rakesh, I'll send at the end. Yeah, I'll share. Rakesh has asked to share my email and those, I'll do it. Then transaction on holidays. See, again, you can check it. Highest, lowest value. So RSF is relative size factor is first highest and second highest. And this is highest and lowest. So if the difference is large, the auditor has to see why. Pending advances. Again, so many things for auditor has been brought. Then voucher verification. Yes, this is a, we have auditors here. You know, just do it. Yeah. You can create a periodicity of verification. And one thing I wanted you to see. You can create sample. So I just wanted that to be shown. Yeah, Pukhraj, I'll define it again. So Pukhraj, relative size factor is a ratio between the, if you're looking at a ledger, let us see it here. Let me answer Pukhraj's question by a live example. This. Here, Pukhraj. So ABC and company, the relative size factor there is being shown as 8.33. So 8.33 is the highest value in the ledger is 25,000. So I'm doing it. 25,000 divided by the second highest. Second highest is 3950. Okay. Yeah. So 6.33. So that is the RSF. So highest to lowest. Let us do it for another ledger. 6.33. Sorry. Say 65,000 divided by 11,000. So 5.91. So that is how this RSF is calculated. Yeah, okay, 6.3. So lot of features are available for auditor to see here itself in Tally. So you can do it here. You can create. Yes, this I wanted to show you. We are short of time. It's a phenomenal way of doing an internal audit. You can select vouchers based on samples you want to define. So that is, you can do. So a lot of there for internal audit is already put in Tally. My idea about today's session was bringing that idea about risk control matrix, how you can create that in Tally and do a very good internal audit. So this is what I had planned. So allow me to go to the PPT, the last part of it. Okay. I'll not run through PPT. Go to the last. So any question and answer. I'm putting my contact details. So I understand this session, it requires a lot more time to be devoted, but this was basically to create this awareness on how you could use Tally itself to create a very good internal audit background material to share that. Vijay, best practices to be good accountant. Follow SOPs, standard, create, it's like first create SOP and then follow SOPs. That is. Okay. So any more questions? I've shared my contact details. Any further thing you want to ask? Yeah. Okay. That I'll share again. I think it must be shared again. Yes. So WebOB has a query. So I'm doing it again. So I'm starting with gateway of Tally, then display more reports, WebOB, then analysis verification, voucher verification. Now, once you come to the vouchers, okay. So once this is selected, press space. So once you select the type of voucher, here you press space bar. As soon as you press the space bar, yeah, here on the right side, you can see sampling configuration. WebOB, you have to say yes. Yeah, okay, thank you. So I'll request all of you to give a feedback, what value more we could add to the session. This helps us learn. Me personally, it will help me learn, and Tally will also plan next session like that. So if Abhishek is there, Abhishek, we are through it. Any more questions you have?
So I must say it was a wonderful session, the way you interacted with everyone, and even I, who don't means I'm not aware about much of these features. I got to know a lot of things, understood a lot of things, and I myself can work in Tally right now. But nevertheless, wonderful session, sir. We have you have, I think, covered all the question and answers. I have shared the link of the CA community portal in the chat. People who want to see the recorded webinars, it will be up on the portal in the next 2 days once we edit and we upload it in the portal, and as well as on a YouTube channel. And Atul sir has shared his contact details. So you can feel free to ask him any questions over his mail, and connect with Tally, connect with me or anyone from our team if you have any query regarding Tally and its features. So anything else that you want to say?
No, nothing. I want to thank all of them for being there and listening so patiently.
Perfect. So
Thank you.
thank you everyone.
Thank
Wonderful session. So
And I'll request all to please visit Indore and we'll have a great time together.
sure, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone for being about. Thank you, sir. Have a good day ahead. Everyone, bye-bye.